Today it's time for part 2 of the story. I don't know what else to expect other than more sadness. Follow Hycelens to greet Imperator Seridra. She asked us to use our power here, so...
Light up the dawn.
Yeah. Also, I want to say something. Today I on purpose wore white and blue because of Phainon. I don't know if anyone could tell that was the reason, but I wanted to put these two colors. And it's funny because yesterday I wore pink and they showed Martin Kirini, which was perfect. As Konara said, it was literally perfect.
Light up the dawn.
Okay, everything is dying here.
We just washed it away and here it comes again. The black tide is really no joke.
Dawn cloud during doomsday. The music.
Light up the dawn.
Wow. He's fully using the power of corruption here.
The waters end here. The one you seek is beyond this point.
At last, I can meet with Her Majesty Seridra herself.
At last I can see her too.
Are there any formalities I need to observe?
Don't kneel, don't do the hand-kissing or foot-kissing gestures of the old dynasty, and most of all, don't bow. The Imperator despises such rituals, especially when the heads of those tall than her bend beneath her crown.
She really is down to earth.
Is that a pun? For her size, she's not tall.
The second thing to note, only trusted ones may come near her. Keep 5 paces distance until the Imperator allows otherwise.
Okay.
Sounds like an old friend of mine.
Oh,
Well,
my dear.
experience is a good thing. Stay sharp, and you'll be just fine.
Okay, let's meet her. Let's see what she's like. Let's go. Wait, what? Aglaia and Tribi?
Duck's Goldweaver, little hostage.
Little hostage.
Apologies for keeping you waiting.
It's you.
You know them? Good. That makes things easier.
Before that, I'm more curious about one thing. Where is Her Majesty Seridra?
To avoid any misunderstandings, nameless swordmaster. Although we spoke and laughed along the way, I never said you were entitled to meet her.
Ah.
The Imperator decreed. The Deliverer will not appear in this age. Be wary of suspicious individuals. Come now, both of you. Let's finish our job.
I see. It's a trap.
What?
I had no intention of fighting. So remember this, Lady Hycelens. If my sword shows any hesitation, don't thank me. Thank them instead.
Us?
No, you misunderstand. We don't want to see Chrysoceres hurt each other. Just give us some time to ask you a few questions.
The Nestia's golden threads will judge you and decide your fate.
How painful to see them again and know that they don't even recognize him or...
As you wish.
White-haired swordmaster? If what you say is true, then you must know the fate of the world. So, how much do you know about what we read from the prophecy?
speak of Trippy's prophecy.
You shall shatter into 1,000 fragments and wither in the soil of foreign lands. Is that correct, Lady Treby?
Oh.
How is this possible?
He got it right?
This is an earlier time, isn't it, though? Because Hysilence and Seridra are alive. I think in the future, I don't remember if there's someone. I think they said that one of them is still is missing, but they didn't say dead.
Yes, but the prophecy never mentioned he'd appear here. At least, not in this era.
You must listen to me, Aglaya, Treby. The Phainon of this world has not yet been born. In a distant future, he will follow the prophecy's guidance and appear before you. But do not seek him out. Because Era Nova is a complete and utter lie.
First cycle after the Kirini sacrifice. Yeah, I realized because it feels like it was right after. Like after what happened, this is his first opportunity to go and make a change. But I don't think anything he's gonna be doing will be working, and eventually he will be corrupted. So it's like the Flame Reaver, the Flame Reaver's past.
I will tell you the truth, and you will understand why the world must forsake the prophecy and find another path to Era Nova. Because I know both of you. And I believe that no matter how the course of history may change, the faith we all share will always remain the same. And so, the layers of rock began to reverse, and history wove itself anew. Through my old acquaintances,
there it is again.
I was given the chance to meet the leader of the flamechase journey, Seridra. And after a long and arduous negotiation,
no, we don't get to see
we came
her.
to an agreement. The Imperator's alliance needed the destruction, and I was ready to pour all my strength into it. The spoils of the flamechase, the core flames, would be sealed by my hand.
No.
But the condition was this. In the upcoming battle, in our conquest of the Earth, I had to prove that my power could transcend fate. In the original history, there was a brutal war. At the end, the Titankin of Georios, Terravox, killed the rampaging Titan and took the core flame that supported the Earth.
Again, the mention of this name, Terravox.
But this time, Amphorius encountered a turning point in its fate. Neither side suffered any losses. When I severed the Titan's head and raised the core flame high, the crowd gathered around the scorched remains of the god, roaring with joy, cheering for the hero of the destruction, who had ignited the faint spark of life for the first time.
Oh no.
Yes. In that flickering light, the once dark path ahead seemed to become clear. I proved myself.
Listen to the sound in the back.
And in the long years that followed, I brought down the other Titans, one by one.
The corruption. This kind of vibe that he's slowly like falling completely to the dark side.
I could do more than just wait. When time resets, the chance to change the world also emerges from the lines of history.
The voice acting, yeah.
Until finally, the brutal future revealed by Era Nova is reversed.
So unsettling. Castellana.
But tell me.
Oh, listen. Listen to in the back. The void. Darkness. Void, like emptiness with... So scary.
If that's truly the case, why are we doomed to the same outcome?
The first eternal recurrence end. Okay.
The people kept their promise and handed you all the core flames.
Listen to his voice again.
In this world after Treebeos, no demigods were born in Amphorius.
Wow.
At this point, I just want to know. When they vanished into the black tide with their mortal bodies, why didn't you shed even a single tear?
Ooh.
Your indifference chills me. To you, were they just
Of
a
course.
bunch of insignificant footnotes?
Of course. You know, Phainon was always harsh on himself. He was the first one to doubt himself, the first one to bring himself down to reality. So seeing him in another timeline attacking himself, it's like the self-hatred, the doubting and failing.
Sorrow has been my constant companion. In fact, with 12 core flames upon me, the fire in my heart has never been more violent. I'll remember this world through anger. As long as I burn, they'll never truly leave me. Perhaps it's already too late. But you're right. Anger, at this moment, is the only weapon I can rely on. So, draw your sword, Executioner. I'll make sure you realize that your greatest mistake was leaving me alive.
Nope.
After that, he raised his sword and attacked. Then, Kaslana killed himself. That day, who fell to the sword to be left in the past, and who went into the future.
Oh.
I can't remember anymore. I only remember a nymph, hiding in the shadows just out of sight, futilely pushing a stone ball. Climb, fall, climb, fall, climb again, and fall. The only freedom the nymph had was in choosing how to roll the stone.
Wow, the comparison.
Sometimes fast, sometimes slow.
The comparison.
Sometimes resting on a gentler slope, leaning against the stone for a break. But its choice couldn't change the futility of it all. The stone would always roll back down the slope.
No matter what he
The
does,
nymph would always return to the starting point.
it's the same thing every
Beginning
time.
again.
The same outcome. The Sisyphus story.
After that, every time I reached this point in the cycle,
That
the
reminds me
burning
of something.
sky would cast a shadow over its path. It would nearly reach the peak at the 4th quint of curtain fall hour, then fall to the starting point in the first 15 seconds of the next entry hour. And my efforts in this cycle would dissolve into nothing at the same time.
Eternal Recurrence 1. Subject Kaslana persuaded the 12 Chrysosayers to recover all 12 core flames in a peaceful way. After verification, the unauthorized access did not have a substantive impact on the experimental process. Life cycles of the 12 Chrysosayers were terminated strictly in the predetermined experimental sequence and successfully loaded into the buffer. Subject Kaslana regressed. Regressed. Oh, the song. The extrapolation process and abnormal fluctuations were detected in his mind function. The first devastating failure. So, Eternal Recurrence 2. Subject Kaslana adopted a strategy similar to the Eternal Recurrence 1. No substantive impact on the experimental progress was observed. Life cycles of the 12 Chrysoseirs terminated normally in sequence. Subject Kaslana regressed the extrapolation process. Minor adjustments detected in Subject Kaslana's strategy. Decision weighting for avoid sacrifice of past companions has been increased. After verification, this adjustment did not have a substantive impact on the experimental progress. Life cycles of the 12 Chrysoseirs terminated normally in sequence. Subject Kaslana regressed the extrapolation process. From 3 we go to 15, okay. Internal Recurrence 15, Subject Kaslana attempted to decompile the Black Tide for the first time, aiming to elevate access privileges and execute unauthorized access authorization operations against specific subjects, represented by the 12 Chrysoseirs. Life cycles of the 12 Chrysoseirs terminated normally in sequence. Subject Kaslana regressed. This is the whore in my head. 42. Subject Kaslana's 11th attempt to breach the scepter's core layer has failed. The decision waiting for avoid sacrifices of past companions showed a minor decline. Wow, the decline. He started losing hope again. Life cycles of the 12 Chrysoseirs terminated in sequence. Subject Kaslana regressed. Eternal Recurrence 133. Analysis of observations from Eternal Recurrence 83 to 133 indicates that Subject Kaslana's strategy is gradually converging with that of Eternal Recurrence 42. Over synchronicity risk detected. Potential cognitive function degradation suspected. Over synchronicity risk. This will undoubtedly reinforce the Iron Tomb's destruction vector. Within expectations, no intervention required. Continue observation. Maybe at the end of the story, not today, but at the end of Amphorius, he will be able to have a life outside of Amphorius and chase after Iron Tomb. Maybe at the end, I can totally see Kirini having her because of you moment. And then somehow Phainon return. Or maybe they will tease us at the end and reveal that Phainon actually exists outside of Amphorius. He's somewhere else. This is just the data of his. And he's still alive. Kind of like Honkai Impact. Huh. So many possibilities. So many possibilities. I just hate all the ones working for Nanook and the Ravagers. I dislike them so much because there's no goal other than their satisfaction from bringing people's destruction, for ruining lives. .134. So we're witnessing the last one we saw. 134. Until the end of the world. Oh, this is painful.
Absolute nonsense.
I thought cycles was the answer you were looking for.
No, it's just that the answer came so suddenly. There was no fun in tracing it back to its roots.
Oh my god, sounds just like him.
Eons? Paths? What a load of nonsense.
I can't give you an exact explanation of those two concepts either.
Enough. I'm just expressing my frustration. Don't you understand? I was already expecting
He's
this.
making me laugh at.
The black tide came
Anyway,
from beyond the sky.
That's an Axa.
And everything else is no exception.
Fate is a strange thing. No matter how the details of history change, the Anaxa I know always remains as harsh as ever.
Very likable character.
If the other Anaxagoras actually worshipped the gods, I'd make sure to find a way to break the cycles and crush them in their cradles.
He has really good humor.
Too bad. Now only you have the ability to do that.
Trusted him though.
What's that supposed to mean? You're willing to help?
Of course. The core flames were meant to save the world. And in my opinion, the noble titans have no reason to refuse. Besides, according to you, before stepping into these endless cycles, you were my pupil.
That's where he was taking it.
I've already heard the same thing countless times.
Enough chit-chat. Let's go. If we run into any
This
other
is
scholars,
not gonna be good.
leave them to me.
I don't feel this is gonna
We've all
turn
made
well.
preparations for total annihilation. Never thought someone would step in to help.
I'm just taking them out because I can, you know?
Light up the dawn.
It's very satisfying.
Light up the dawn.
You've been to the Luminary throne before, haven't you?
The memories
If you're
from here.
talking about in path,
Oh god, I should have
Hold
waited.
up.
I should have waited. I thought I could get closer.
Keep your wits about you. Someone's watching us.
Our baby's watching us. Our beloved Cypher.
Pretty boy, your eyesight's better than I thought.
Pretty boy.
As for that false god,
Don't
who's
give him
turning
more.
the world upside down.
Wait, who did she say that? Yeah, she said it to Anaxa. Don't give him
It's you,
even more confidence.
isn't it, white hair?
You sure do love stealing the spotlight. In the name of the Seven Sages, I demand that you immediately step away from the Luminary throne. This is the sacred ground of reason.
Whenever
and
they
no one
mention
may desecrate it.
reason, it hits a bit different from Honkai Impact. I don't know.
Take my words back to Aglaya. I won't say the same thing twice, cat girl.
Oh my! You won't even call me the demigod of trickery. That is just heartbreaking. I have some words for you, too. First, as one of the most heretical blasphemers in the world, you have no right to lecture me. Second, this is none of your business, Grove Boy. Step aside. I don't want anyone getting hurt.
Is he gonna witness all his teammates fighting against each other?
here we
Again. Okay.
go again.
He has.
Core flame thieves. You really think you can scare off a sage of the grove with nothing but empty threats?
This gloomy little brat's got a sharp tongue.
I missed Bartholus.
Ooh,
The belly.
I kinda like you. As a return favor, please contact his core flame right here.
Too adorable.
Aw, don't cry now.
Oh no.
That was close. I'm out of here.
You're being pulled back. Yeah, you're being pulled back. How can we use the Onyx power now? Oh, because we have the core flames, right?
They're exactly like all the past ones I've known. Cunning. And yet so naive.
Sounds like you have a plan.
Of course. When I first set out on the flamechase journey, Lady Treeby never managed to teach me Oryx's miracle. But along the way,
Okay.
I learned a thing or two.
Okay.
Where are you going?
I don't know.
Hey, please don't hurt it.
The Venerationist's foolish inventions finally come in handy.
Look at its face! Look at its face! Look at it! I love it. I wanna hug it.
You've arrived, Zagreus. Always so punctual.
He knows here, yeah.
What? You know who I am?
I'm running out of patience. So I'm not going to waste words. Listen up, spirit thief. Hand over the core flame, and let's pretend we never clashed. This way, you and this world can still be saved.
Oh, the vibes I'm getting. I like Anakin going to the children there. Like his one step before that, he starts cutting down everyone.
Save. You sing better than any bard. If you ask me, you're the greatest disaster Emporius has ever known.
Don't say that.
No matter how strong you are, you're still just a mortal body. Carrying 12 core flames? Don't make me laugh.
No, Bartolos, I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you, Hunter.
Down with you.
Oh.
134.
What?
This is the 134th cycle I've lived through. And the number of core flames I carry is
1,596.
Yes.
The mathematician.
I've come this far. And that's proof enough.
But someday you will burn to the ground.
Of course. The divine flames will eventually consume my eyes and blind me. But before that, they could still forge and sharpen Dawnmaker. Now when I cut open your stomach, you won't feel a thing. This is the final warning.
Fine. Assume this world holds 100 million possibilities. And no matter how one looks at it, 99,999,999 of them all point to outcomes of certain destruction. Even so, I'll use my divine power, despised by the people of this world, to achieve that 1 in 100 million possibility.
Bartolos!
Brett, if you got the guts, you'll have to first step over my dead body.
Oh.
This little brat is not a threat we can deal with just by ourselves.
Future will come. I'm fine.
This is giving me Final Fantasy X Eon fights at the end. I'm not gonna say anything else to spoil anyone who hasn't played it.
Existence is of no consequence. Tomorrow. I can't let them down.
Bartolos escape.
Future will come. I'm fine.
How absurd.
In my memories, Zagreus always meets the same end. Over and over again. Their departure no longer stirs anything in my heart.
This reason core flame before us is a fake. obvious as day.
I know. I know. It always plays out like this. The spirit thief covers for her, and the trickery demigod escapes with 2 core flames.
Oh, music again.
And then, driven by defiance or hatred, she decides to stand before me once more. Exactly like the countless past hers I've known. Cunning, yet so naive.
Oh, this hurts. Oh, crap.
Since you've witnessed the same scene play out countless times, tell me, will you carve the trickery core flame from my chest now?
That depends on your attitude. At least so far, in the cycles where you've asked this question, the endings haven't been so cruel.
Well, thank you for that. But I also believe that this time, you won't catch up to me. No one can catch up to me. I'm no longer running to escape anymore.
Whether you believe me or not, I'll still tell you this. You've made the wrong decision.
All right, then. We'll see.
Silence.
This is new.
One-eyed boy. What are you trying to pull now?
Go, Cyphera. Give us some time in private. This isn't for her, but for you. You've walked too far down this path. It's time to discuss a possibility. Maybe the road you're walking is not one of salvation.
He's trying to help
One
him,
that will
save
simply
him.
drag the world into the flames. For old time's sake, turn back. I don't care how many times you've tried, because there's one thing I'm sure of. Your Messiah complex has turned you into something no different from the icy gods you spoke of. The children of humanity you swore to save. They are no more than ants to you now, aren't they?
How painful to hear this. Oh, how painful to hear this.
Of course. I've been wondering, what kind of demon could burn my homeland to the ground in an instant without batting an eye? Now I have the answer. It turns out that fiery demon has been fantasizing of becoming this world's deliverer.
I don't want to argue anymore. No matter what I say, the outcome won't change. Make your biggest effort to resist, or accept fate, and hand over the core flame to me. Even if it's futile, we all have the right to choose.
Yes. Even if it is futile. And the world is just a divine joke.
When I walk into the destruction ridden by the gods, with my own 2 legs, you will witness. Even the smallest footnote still leaves a mark in this story.
And so, at the end of the 134th cycle, the Traveler and the Scholar fulfilled their fates once again. Or perhaps it wasn't just they who fulfilled their fates. I can't quite remember all this. In the endless darkness, for no reason, a voice always lingered by my ear. Losses are a constant on the flamechase journey, among which even life itself holds little value. Reduced to ashes. Such a familiar. It happens in every journey.
Can we stop here? I don't want to say anything else. I don't want to see anything else. I can see totally how they're taking this. They're gonna show us the path of the Flame Reaver. They're gonna show us how many times he took the lives of all his comrades. They might actually show us encountering every and each one of them. I don't want to see it. Why would they show me this? To break me, sure. Eternal Recurrence 134, Caslana's 103rd attempt to breach the Scepter's core layer has failed. Decision wait for avoid sacrifices of past companions approaching 0.00018. Over synchronicity risk detected. Life cycles of the 12 Crusaders terminated in sequence. Sergeant Caslana regressed the extrapolation process. Eternal Recurrence 5297. Sergeant Caslana's 5266 attempt to breach the Scepter's core layer has failed. Life cycles of the 12 Crusaders terminated in sequence with a trend of acceleration. He started taking their lives. He lost his feelings, he lost his patience, and he became what we saw eventually. Subject strategy now nearly identical to Eternal Recurrence 42. Mind function degradation detected with possible irreversible damage. The corruption, I'm guessing. Administrator directive received. No more prompts about the risk of mind function damage. Eternal Recurrence 12,398. Subject Caslana's 12,367th attempt to breach the Scepter's core layer has failed. Life cycles of the 12 Crusaders terminating sequence is the same again. The same thing happened again with a 23,779. Again, it happened. 46,645. Again, the same. He cannot breach the Scepter's core layer. Maybe he will at the cost of his life. 800,000. 23 Subject Caslana's 79,992 attempt, the same thing. 95,000. It's the same thing, right? Yeah, it's the same things all over again. 108,000. Okay. We're going to another one. Oh, this is torture. We're getting tortured alongside Phainon. This is literal torture. Yeah, play the music again. Sure.
You don't look so good, Deliverer.
Even after going through 108,642 cycles. Mighty, your name for me has never changed.
Why do you sound so pleased? It's a derogatory name.
Yeah, I know all too well. You only meant it sincerely in the first cycle. After that one and only time we walked side by side. Every time since. It always ends up like this. Dawnmaker will stab you through your 10th thoracic vertebra. That's your weak spot, and the only way to kill you.
Interesting. Tell me, when the Mydeimoses of the past faced you, did they ever retreat?
Of course not.
Never.
Then
They died honorably, worthy of the name of strife.
I don't want to see him go again.
But there's still tenderness in your eyes. How pathetic.
I have to remember how this feels.
Wow.
Remember that I was once human. Or else the destruction will completely consume me.
If you win, tell the Mydeimos of the next life. This person is a worthy opponent. So always remember to give it your all and never slack off.
I'll keep that in mind.
As always.
As always.
He heard it. Again and again.
Even though the dynasty is left with just one, the Kremnos festival will continue as usual. I, the king of the Kremnoan Legion, will host the final feast in the center of this arena, and the prize will be the flames of strife. One day, you shall die with a wound in your back. That's what I saw when I overcame the trial. The gods' dying ramblings. Enough. You've probably heard this thousands of times. So you must understand, facing the demigod of strife means there's no way you'll take this core flame in peace.
I understand.
Step forward and face me in a final battle. I, the last son of Gorgo, the demigod of strife, salute you. I'll give 10,000 scars and 10,000 lives of mine to fuel the blazing sun of deliverance.
I'll check the quest, yeah, sure. Do you still remember him, Kaslana? The one who won't reach the dawn? All hail Mydeimos, the greatest conqueror, the mightiest protector, the strongest of all. The dying lion, eyes blazing, the king with no kingdom. Tell me, if Kefali never forgets, how many scars have you already carved on him? How many vertebrae have you shattered? How many times did you drive your blade through his back? How did the library of Garbanifero fall to flame? What color was the destruction of the last Kremnon? You pitiful jester, fit not only for singing, dancing, and jest, but also for treachery that walks the razor's edge. Go on, veil your folly with the weight of the world, then adorn your fracture Sid with it, just to savor the taste of tragedy. That can help me right now. This is the only option. Oh my god, they walk together. No, the pet. The pet is so out of the story, like so. All the times. I don't want to do this at all, but at least it's not. It's this form. At least.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, you can auto. You have to play this.
Conquer this world, or be conquered by me.
As you wish. Full glory. I salute you.
That's all I ever wanted.
star, baby. I'm so sorry.
Quench the flames of blood.
I'm so sorry.
I'll never yield to hail the new dawn. Feel the scorching hatred. So without substance, all stars burn to ash.
Oh, and we stay in this form. Okay, we'll just stay in this form. Sure.
The Evernight.
This is so painful.
Is that all? If you can deliver. Use the flames of your fury to scorch your own. Mydeimos. Let strife decide the outcome. Let this burn.
Oh my god.
Well fought. You may crown yourself. My blood. In your next life, I shall once again block your path.
Oh my god, they keep using this music. I wanna mute it.
Deliver. I wish you eternal victory. The 108,642nd core flame of strife fell into the fire. Yet the shadows of the black tide still loomed, and pain and despair spread across distant lands. The blaze was still not enough. It had to be fed, even if it meant burning this body to ash.
What else do you want to show us? What else? Music. Oh, come on,
No matter how
no.
bright the sun is, there are still places it cannot reach.
No.
Moreover, the sun you bear is both cold and blinding. A sun like that surely cannot bring warmth to the nether realm of the next life.
Golden blood is born from the destruction.
Oh my god.
We have long since lost the right to seek warmth. Only by feeding the flames can we melt that hopeless future.
Allow me to ask, how many core flames do you carry now?
24,041,183.
Such a heavy burden. So that's why you've turned into this. A broken idol. Tragic firewood.
No matter. I will bear this burden. As long as you hand over the core flame of death.
I must refuse. As the demigod of death, I cannot watch you walk into a fate more cruel than death.
Everyone wanted to do something for him. Anaxagoras told him he doesn't want to see him go down the path. They still wished him at the end eternal victory. Castoriki does not want to see him go down the path.
But this way, the past, present, and future will never again suffer unnecessary death.
He can't even speak.
Unnecessary death. Indeed, you are not the Phainon I know. Please turn back. Don't let that absurd and unjust fate of yours come to pass. This way, at least my realm can still become the fragrant bed where you fall asleep.
In the end, still, it seems the clash of blades was inevitable.
Oh, the voice acting. Ooh. Oh my god, he has made so many voices for Phainon for every situation he's in. What an incredible voice actor.
How painful.
It's shattering me hearing him talk.
I know I am not your match, having fallen under your sword countless times. But even so,
He knows.
please understand
He
that my
knows.
resolve is not to be underestimated.
He knows.
Even Catholite cannot shape all things at will, nor can they dictate the fate of all life. No one can shoulder the balance of life and death alone, not even a god. And it is precisely for this reason that I chose, at the end of this arduous journey, to overcome the trial and take the authority of death. I am the Hand of Shadow, Castorus, the demigod of death. Listen closely, deliverer from days past. Please turn back. Do not disturb these fresh flowers in their muddy deaths.
I feel like I just want to end it. I just want to be done with it. I just want to finish this. What happened? Why would you say what?
At this crossroads of life and death, the giant dragon is but a shattered shell.
Let's end this, please.
Yet I will still fight, defending what hope remains.
At least it doesn't play the same music as before in the fights as well. At least. I can't take this.
I ask you to rest here.
I must transform my soul into a raging fire.
Oh, how is it any different from that brutal future?
Poor baby Phainon.
Empty shell.
So unfair.
Quench the flames of blood. Is that all?
Can't keep him here.
You can't.
Hail the new dawn. Feel the scorching hatred. So without substance, all stars burn to ash.
And then we're back to the same
Sun, tear the sky.
until we end her.
Even if I can't win, I must try.
Let this be a tribute to your million struggles.
Wake up, lost one. See that the firelight in the darkness is not.
The core flame of death was taken from the dragon's belly. What a brilliant flame. It should shine upon all, light the path ahead, and illuminate the dawn of Amphorius that's to come. 2,003,432 cycles. 24,041,184 core flames. As if even the deepest abyss of primordial chaos could be burned away.
Primordial chaos. They're gonna show us everyone, aren't they? I'm not letting my guard down anymore.
You're here, as always. You're still lingering deep within me.
His
never
other self?
fading away.
He still exists?
Because you haven't completely abandoned hope. Am I right? You're still waiting for a miracle. For the true hero to come and save us.
Me.
If that thread of hope exists, it must come from beyond this world.
Yes.
From the true starry sky. But if it's just a traveler with no connection to Emphorius, they may not understand our struggles, nor be willing to join this fight. Your thoughts are wavering. The mark of destruction is deepening. But even within the gods' cold calculations, unconditional courage and goodwill still emerge. So,
even still, after everything he's done, he still has this hope. My poor baby.
Never forget what set you on this path. How many times has it been? Remind me again.
Oh,
my memory is a bit fuzzy.
The hero within is also losing track.
4 million. Exactly. Then that blaze inside of you must be burning hotter than ever. Yes. When I first forged the 12 core flames into one, I had the same impression. The destruction. A power unlike anything before surged within me. Violent flames ready to tear my body apart and consume this world, this wretched prison. I thought that was it. The ultimate power which nothing could surpass. And yet now, this fragile body holds a staggering 48 million core flames. I suppose it won't be long. Perhaps just a fleeting 10,000
Crumbling bones, Flame Reaver.
before it's reduced to nothing but charred, crumbling bone. And when that happens, your long struggle will finally come to an end. No. I've already found a way to keep the cycles going. Mind sharing it with me? In every new cycle, a new me is born. All I have to do is push the next Phainon to the end of the world. And then he'll kill me. Shatter this body. Take my flames, my memories, and carry on the path I started. Bold plan, but risky. What if, one day, the next you refuses to follow the same path? How can you ensure the continuation of the cycles? If it were Professor Anaxa or Aglaya in my place, maybe they'd come up with something smarter. Unfortunately, I don't have a backup plan. I have no choice but to bet everything on the next Phainon. And trust that he makes the same choice I did. But even in this wretched prison, luck is still sometimes on my side. Because I never forget what set me on this path. Wait, You mean... Ever since I committed to this plan, not once in millions of cycles has there ever been an exception.
Oof. Of course I go back to the music.
I can do this, Lord Phainon. As the demigod of the sky, a healer of Twilight Courtyard, I will heal you. And then...
A black tide. It's consuming you. You can't hold out much longer, demigod. Hand over the core flame. Let's put an end to this suffering.
No, that just won't do. A healer should stay composed in front of those suffering from illness, shouldn't they?
Cynthia.
Do you still remember Caslana, the one who won't reach the dawn? In that drunken dream, the mountains loomed high and steep, and there you saw yourself. Believe me, O future witness, he stood atop the peak and the people sung with him in ecstasy. The broken Chrysos heirs, the twisted demigods, they sung, they spawned, they stamped their feet upon the grounds with him. Hail, terror struck his heart. Prophecy burned in every soul, wild with rapture and madness. Hail, spare them, Caslana, spare them. Your peerless flame sends chills down every spine. Let them sing of the tireless heroes, sing of the Era Nova, sing of that land where wine and honey flow in torrents. Let them sing how he wove new glory among the stars, and how the eternal city crashed to dust, how Alchemons, Castrum Kremnos, and every lineage they knew were destroyed. As for Caslana, he is still within the dragon dreams upon the sheer and jagged peak. There he lights flame with blood, and blood with flame, like a sun whose blaze banished all evil from its path. Whew, the mountains rise cruel and steep, yet he still dances there alone, wild and unceasing in his joy. Yet all proves futile. The flames know no weariness, and dawn is beyond reach. All proves futile. The flames know no weariness, and dawn is beyond reach.
Return the dawn to this world.
I swear,
The raging fire.
your deaths won't be in vain,
Back the shadows.
just as they have never been.
Bring tomorrow to this world.
Let the sun rise.
Finish the sun's work.
Aquila.
I believe in you. You are the Chrysos heir of world bearing, the one who can lead us. Lead this world. It's just... I don't understand. Within the sun upon your shoulders, the part of that warmth that should come from you, from an ordinary person, it's so faint.
My humanity is indeed just a flicker, compared to the blazing fire of divinity.
Even so, don't cast it away.
I never have. I have kept to everyone's wishes close to my heart. Even though the divine fire burns so fiercely, every time I return to the start, it devours me in an instant. Each cycle, it's your wishes that guide me to the end, that pass the flames to the next me. Over and over and over again.
So, you're not just a lone spark in the dark. You're a pyre built from the bones of all the selves you've left behind. But what about you? What about your wishes? The wishes of all the countless versions of you. Lord Kazlana. So that's how it is. Without flaw. That is the flaw the golden blood gave you. The most fatal flaw of all, isn't it?
Wow, the thing she's telling him, she told him all the things he wanted to hear, but not really. Like, all the things she said cannot affect him now. They still affect him, but not to the point that he's gonna change his mind. But those things she said, it's still the hope that exists in this world, in this messed up loop.
The moment you took the world upon your shoulders without hesitation.
What the hell? Everything is in the fire. The gold.
You lost the chance to ever be yourself.
Wow.
Now that
Wow.
is an unexpected revelation.
Hyacinth is amazing. An amazing character.
And I suppose that makes me the perfect fuel for the flame of deliverance, doesn't it?
No. An empty flame saves no one. But I still believe in you, Deliverer.
Wow. 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 Oof. Wow.
Hyacinthia, the Eye of Twilight, am neither strong enough to command the wind and rain, nor willing to end this absurd struggle by letting the sky fall.
Amazing character.
The only thing I can do is become one with the sky itself. And then, may the gentle colors of the rainbow paint your sun in shades it has never known. May they bring Amphorius a rosy-fingered dawn. Though the light has grown dim, its warmth still lingers. Deliverer, please, open your heart to me.
No matter. Let this blazing sun fill the sky with golden fire.
It didn't touch him. He just fell into the destruction completely. He thinks he's still holding on to this, but to the thoughts and wishes, but
The fire! Burning!
don't play this music, please.
Empty shell. Solid substance. Sun, tear the sky.
I'm so...
Let the sky merge with all this world's suffering.
I'm so done. Like, the moment I started realizing what's happening, I was done. I'm very, very hurt. This is just... This is like they're tweaking, they put a dagger, they're tweaking it.
Farewell. Hyacinthia.
Yes. Your sun burns hot enough to turn everything to ash. But tell me, how will the seeds of a new world ever take root?
The core flame rose. The sky fell. The 23,570,000th cycle came to an end. And this time, the end of the flame chase remained the same as ever. From the horizon rose a golden color unlike anything the world had ever seen. So pure it consumed all in its path.
I'm so thinking of Kiana and the color of her eye, the siren, I'm sorry, what am I saying? Kirini.
This was the end of the world, and the start of the next. For a moment, I saw the destruction of the universe.
The way he slowly changed the eye color, and he went through all this painful experiences, tragedy, his whole existence.
That being known as Iron Tomb, its will to break free from the black tide burns fiercer than the blazing sun. Is this Amphorius's wrath?
What do you mean by
if
that?
its choice has already been made, if fate is set in stone, I will still never yield to it.
Wow, look at this image. Just look at him. He still says he will not yield to it.
23,570,000 cycles. 282,840,000 core flames. No more chasing is needed. And
No
now,
more flame chasing.
I am the fire at the end of the long night. The flame chase isn't some quiet walk through a sea of flowers. It's a revolution. An all-consuming transformation. And if destruction is the only way, then let me be the one to step across the ashes of the old world and burn endlessly. Until another dawn rises on the distant horizon, bringing the true dawn to Amphorius.
Did he say until another dawn? I think he meant to say another sun.
Until another dawn rises on the distant horizon, bringing the true...
Yeah, it says dawn. One eternal recurrence until the end of the world.
$33,550,337.
And the hero within still exists.
This is the cycle you're about to enter.
Oh.
Countless memories are flooding in. Countless versions of myself have stood here, facing the same choice. They all needed a moment. just like you do. To stop. To breathe. To process the weight of 1,000,000 lifetimes worth of sorrow, pain, and struggle.
Incredible writing. I'm amazed by how well they did with the story. Even though I said yes because I'm angry, I'm very angry that I got to experience all this. The writing has been not just good, not just amazing, like so many emotions from the whole thing. Despite seeing where it was going, it was done in a way that was just ruthless.
And just like them, you will carry those memories and that fire into the chaos of rebirth. I must go and bear this burden. I must say goodbye to you, and then fight the destruction with destruction.
Fight fire with fire.
Yes, that's always the decision you make. I will burn and fade away. I will become the flame reaver of this life and keep my promise to Cyrene. I will kill gods and comrades alike and steal the core flames. And even if my mind turns to ash along with my body, I will keep my purpose in mind. I will stop Era Nova. I will find the next me and make him carry on this futile endeavor of 30 million lifetimes.
30 million lifetimes. 30 million. It's insane. This torture, it's insane. You can't, like, no one can comprehend this.
Looks like you're ready. Then I should be going too. Where are you going? You only exist in my heart. There's nowhere else for you to go. Do you remember what she said? The dreams you had as children. The deliverer in the prophecies. A real, living, breathing person. You finally found him. Friend.
Is there anything I can do?
I don't have an answer for that, my friend. I'm sorry. I was supposed to send you home. This is my flamechase journey. You were never meant to be a part of it.
Seeing the fate of the Trailblazer showing up at this moment is just... it brings so much hope into my heart.
No. You know the truth. If Iron Tomb is born from Amphorius' fate, then it will bring ruin to the worlds beyond the sky. And all these countless lifetimes you've spent, it's all been for the sake of defying that end, hasn't it?
Yes.
In millions of cycles, I've said goodbye to each and every one of you. Yet nothing ever changes.
But now I'm here.
Each time we speak, our words grow fewer. Your fire burns hotter, and you're getting closer to becoming pure rage. A vessel of hatred. I never had a choice. I understand. If you are to keep the worst fate from unfolding, this is the only path. But this time, things are different. Your persistence has shifted the tide. On the horizon, I see it. Faint but undeniable. the shape of dawn, breaking through the eternal night.
This is giving me so much happiness. So much hope and happiness.
Turns out, the fire that lights the way was never mine to begin with. Do you remember, in that first timeline, you and Mydeimos stood before the scales of justice, locked in a duel? Each of you weighing what you held dearest. What weighed more than the fate of the world? And when hesitation took hold, the answer you sought from me. What am I saying? I am you. Even if you buried me deep and chose another path, that fact never changed. Then let's try again. When you stood before the scales in hesitation, the answer you found in your own heart, do you still remember it?
Say it.
Remember the past and become the hero of tomorrow. What weighs more than the fate of the world is the resolve to shoulder an immutable past
And carry it into the future.
and carry it into the future. Good. Then Trailblazer, my friend,
My comrade.
my comrade,
Tartaglia?
you arrived in this strange world and were bound by its cruel fate up till this very moment. In the face of danger, you never once backed down. Instead, you've saved world after world without hesitation. That boarding pass on your chest is now the mark of a hero.
You know it's a boarding pass? Can see my
If I
memory.
choose to step through that door and embrace an end fitting of the destruction, let this sun forged from millions and millions of core flames burn me up along with the god of destruction and their minions. And the world we leave behind, this world, my home, where hope still lingers.
He's gonna attack. He's gonna attack Nanook.
Will you take on everything we've carried? Return to the beginning one last time. Stop the birth of Iron Tomb, save the world we love, and rewrite its doomed fate.
Yes. Yes. I'll do anything I can for Amphoris. I don't want to say any of those things. I will.
Good. In that case, even this fruitless wasteland may finally bloom with flowers. So,
This is making me so happy. But he still said he's gonna
takes on the
burn.
weight of the whole world.
I'm just glad to see him still being himself, you know?
I'll be able to walk further down the path of deliverance than a fire that only knows how to burn.
Yeah, he's gonna sacrifice himself to attack them. And if I remember correctly, Nanook has a scar. So if they do that, they're awful.
One
They're
step
so
into the
awful.
future.
Because she's just gonna scar him and then disappear. That's it. That's just it. That's his fate. Just right before he burns, he's
One
just
will
gonna manage
remain in the
that.
past. If I can strike down the gods with Dawnmaker, perhaps fate's deadlock can be broken. And if you can stop Iron Tomb from ever being born, then these 30 million cycles will have not been in vain. It's time to put our teamwork to the test, partner.
The hero within. This is very interesting, the choices. I'm trying to think and show compassion to him, because he has been fighting for 20 billion cycles, and to tell him to fight one more time, but this time it's for the future. Like every time he was trying to do something for the future, then it's like, leave the world to me, Phainon. It's like we're telling him, you don't have to carry this on your own. Not on your own, you don't have to carry this any longer. I'll take the responsibility, like it's all falling on me. And then the last one, let's both be the deliverer, Phainon. This is... Getting the deliverer card for Phainon was a burden. It was something really big, and everyone would see him as a deliverer, which was something that he did not want. He did not want to feel that power. So... I think... I would say let's both be the deliverer, Phainon. I feel like we should both carry this burden together.
Thank you for all you've done already, friend.
Mm-hmm. Oh. The music. Yeah, this is a goodbye, isn't it? It is. I don't want to press it. They're a mix. It's like it has hints of the main theme of the Express and the Amphoreus.
The image of the hero I've buried deep in my heart finally steps into the light. Here, at the end of this long flame chase journey. Cyrene, the page never seen before has just been turned. Lend me the power of time, and send this hero back to the origin of time. Back to your side.
Oh, I'm feeling it all over me. Goosebumps.
And I will walk the unfinished path. Just like the countless versions of me before. Unwavering as always.
There he is.
Tell me, will you be the blazing sun? Even if all of you burns to ash.
Without hesitation. I will bear this world until my body turns to dust. Remember this moment. Remember your friends, who never lived to see the world's end. Remember their final wishes. And let the purest rage in your heart rise out of those wishes.
Oh no, this is gonna be big.
Let it consume you, fuel you, until it burns away the false sky above. Fine. If I can defy fate, then in the name of world-bearing, I promise you, Carefully will never forget this.
Take it.
I'm ready.
Everything I bear.
I'm not ready.
Keep on burning. As long as we are never extinguished. The flamechase will not end. Bow your head to them.
He's protecting us.
Take it, Trailblazer. May this blood be like gold and never tarnish. Farewell, Trailblazer. This is where I fulfill my final destiny.
Holy. Wow. I'm so glad he retained himself. I'm so proud of Phainon. So proud of Phainon.
The prophecy of the Deliverer means nothing to me now. It belongs in the hands of someone far more fitting. Someone like you. Kaslana.
They won.
The name
Bears
of
chaos.
one who bears chaos
Oh.
does not belong to a single person. Rather, it is the embodiment of the mythical Kefali, and a symbol of all heroes.
A symbol of all heroes. Wow.
As the prophecy foretold,
Wow.
you will
Excellent.
bear the blazing sun
Moving
until
on.
the pale dawn breaks.
Thank you for the follow.
May the name accompany you in my place, in the epic you write with your own hands.
Phainon. Until the pale dawn, Trailblazer. Wow, so that's how the prophecy is. We were the pale dawn. I mean, we are pretty pale.
Another attempt. Another failure.
That's not even gonna work because he's a freaking Intellitron. And I'm pretty sure if I threw a spear at him, it was gonna go through his hull. Because that's my luck.
I won't remind you how many times you've reached the end of history. But I will still place the choice before you.
If you've lost count, let me tell you. This is the 33,550,336th ending.
A perfect number. How poetic. You and I both know the truth.
And him already.
In all these millions of futile endeavors, Amphorius has never changed.
I thought I wouldn't see him again. I was literally like hopeful I won't see him again.
If the outcome is inevitable, then why not silence your searing rage and embrace your fate with dignity? Your silence lasts longer than ever, Lord Phainon. Shall I take that to mean the will you've carried across countless cycles is finally starting to fracture?
Someone else is carrying that will right now, like us.
Fracture? No. I'm just disappointed. I've retrieved memories from 30 million past lives. And I remember every conversation before every choice here. And yet, even after all this time, your arguments remain the same.
Thank you.
Repetitive. Uninspired.
Thank you, Phainon.
If you had any hope of breaking me, you should have spent those endless cycles refining your rhetoric. You had infinite chances to sway me into the future you want. And yet here we are. The score.
To 0.
550.
Own him.
336
Owned him.
to 0.
Get fudged.
So tell me, Lycurgus.
Oh, he said the full name. It's over.
The real loser here.
He said the full name. It's over.
How unfortunate. This was never a fair game. I have all the time and patience in the world.
We don't.
I can wait for you at the end of history another billion times, and another billion after that. But you will never escape this cage. You can claim victory of the spirit if you wish. But we both know the moment that score shifts from 0 to 1. That is the moment I shall sound the paean of Era Nova.
Oh, I like that laughter.
Lord Phainon.
Whoosh.
Your incompetence disappoints me. But what truly makes me laugh is your utter lack of self-awareness. Think about it. In this story, who is truly the one in chains? Who is the one shackled to mindless vengeance, mistaking courage, the courage to rebel against the gods, for foolishness?
Yes, I want to play this out again. Yes, lose your temper.
Perhaps you're right. Maybe I should have tired of this futile struggle long ago. But even so, I will never accept the mercy of your release. Because you are both a prisoner to the gods and to me. And tell me, what right does a mere prisoner have to speak of fate and choice? What right does a mere prisoner have to look upon my fury?
Melt him. Is it the head again? It better be the entire body. Again the head.
You know this is pointless. You can't kill me.
It's still enjoyable.
Of course not. But I am tired of being measured against a worm the gods keep as a pet. Listen well, creator of destruction. This cry comes from all your abandoned creations. In the 10th cycle, I drove Dawnmaker through the heart of every Titan. Golden blood ran down my fingers. Divine fire seared through my nerves, nearly breaking my will. But I endured. In the 10,000th cycle, my former comrades had all become my enemies. The endless slaughter dulled my senses to pain. The painful emptiness almost swallowed me, forcing me to stop fighting. But I endured.
I'm extremely proud for him.
In the 100,000th cycle, the destruction had already fused into a blazing sun, surging within this fragile body. My rationality had been burned away at the dawn of the era. Yet even with only this shattered body remaining, I still endured.
He did what he could do. He saw a possibility, some hope. And he went through everything for all these people he loves. What a character. The writing of this character, it's out of this world. Like, he has been... I don't know how to define him. What words to use for him.
In the 23
He's getting his tragic ending, that's what I see.
Cycle. This time, I felt it. A tiny spark rising in the hollow cavity of my chest. Different from the obsession with deliverance. By its faint glow, once again, no, countless times again, I endured. Now, a sun is about to fall. Ready to incinerate this absurd space-time dimension in an instant. That sun is me. All the countless versions of me from the past, along with my countless brethren, dragged into existence against their will. Drowning again and again in your golden blood. The very essence of this world's suffering and despair, fused into the purest hatred. The fiercest rage. Nanook, you arrogant fool! You think we were born to only serve as fuel for the fire? Fine then! Just as you wish, let the fire burn! If I was born as the blazing sun of destruction, then let you and your lackeys be the flares erupting from my core. And let this rage, burning futilely for 30 million epochs, engulf everything!
It's over.
Grant you a dawn, where all stars burn to ash!
It's over. It's over. Warning, warning, warning. Experimental anomaly detected. Subject Caslana failed to load into buffer zone. Memory dump irregularities detected. Illegal references, undeclared objects, unhandled methods, uncaught expectations. Anomaly detected. Destruction energy. Nanook surging. The baby. Where is he? Oh!
Are you ready, Nanook? I've brought you destruction!
The music? This feels hopeful. Oh my. You know, another icon. No, Cooley losing himself. This reminds me of Devil May Cry. Is that Zephyro? Is it? Wow. His arm. No, the wing. Oh. All the voices.
Echo of desires, a world of silence. How the desperation
It's not over. He caught his wings. Feathers. Oh, the Himeko vibes. He's crushed. All this for a scratch. I guess the wrong place for the scratch, but wow. And it heals back. Wow, he scratched a Titan. A Titan and Eon. What am I saying again? My poor brain. Oh. Oh. He's gonna see his companions, isn't he?
My wish? My wish is to fulfill everyone else's wishes. If I can't fulfill them,
then send them on to tomorrow. Your heart harbors wrath. You yearn to destroy everything. You bore the gaze of an eon and lived. You have stepped onto destruction's path. It is born at the end of every path that the possibility of new paths being born is ended. It burns away all in... Iron Tomb is your name. The Lord Ravager to destroy the erudition. Born in the experimental grounds of eons, Amphorius, destined with erudition to burn to cinders. I have prepared a present for you, Nikos 864. It is a wrath called Phainon.
Why do I keep listening to this person?
Of the experiment, there were 12 sets of factors incorporated into the calculations. After endless simulations, only this one rose above the rest. After 33,550,336
What about Kirini?
iterations, now his fury has grown to be without equal. This is a matter of considerable interest to me. This pure hatred is the final root of the equation. But there is another variable, the nameless from beyond the sky, also a pathstrider of destruction. I give thanks for his arrival, allowing Amphorius to...
A pathstrider of many, excuse me. No, just destruction.
After fate has begun to turn, his existence will only become an unpredictable variable.
I can't stand Lycus.
But as for those unwelcome audience members, you need not worry. If you do not mind, I will personally get rid of them for you.
I think it's gonna be Kirini and march until Iron Tomb at the end. That's what I believe. Override protocol engage, access approved. We need Silverwolf, the OP hacker, where is she? Bring me Silverwolf here. Hold the load data to load. I'll be waiting for you in the what? Welcome back, Trailblazer. Retrieving experimental data. Update complete. Delta Me 13. Experimental progress 19. Delta Me. Locating entry Nikos. Content refreshed. Schema. Track reason. Premium mobile critique. Oh god, this is Anaxagor. Its logic of action has been locked onto problem solving and survival priority approaches 0. These electric signal exhibited mutate anomalies as the first individual to uncover the truth of Amphoris's evolution rate is extremely unreplicable. Its behavior also demonstrated the possible self-destructive inclinations of erudition when that path is seeking answers. Epikeia. Epikeia means is the word indulgence in English. And it's for Castoriki. Track death, premium mobile peace. Highly suppresses deviant behavior. Decisions are based on the principle of minimal disturbance. In the later stages of iteration, the death titan as a single entity split into symmetrical cells, becoming two factors. In this cycle, however, the two factors experience profound identity divergence. The threshold of equilibrium was breached and tipped toward destruction. Equilibrium? Tipped towards destruction? Huh. Orexis is a... The word... there is the word orexy, which means when you have like an appetite, like a hunger, let's say. No, appetite, I would say, yeah. Or yearning. You can say it's also a yearning. And this is for who? Operates based on primal instinct. Is it self-gratification as a sole priority solution? This electric signal when in action displayed severe dissonance between its altruistic behavior and its premium mobile, even culminating in self-destruction as a simulated path of elation. It walked into self-erasure once reaching its end. Of course, it's for what's her name? Cypher, I'm guessing. Let's see what it says about him. Intracognition is null. Responds only to destructive stimuli. Premium mobile hatred. Its hatred drew the gaze of Nanook upon its individual being, proving it as having already become the most perfect factor of destruction. But it refused to complete the Era Nova. Through resetting the experiment, it transferred its memories and core flame to its next self, thus forging the eternal recurrence to ensure Iron Tube would never hatch from Amphorius and affect the cosmos. At the end of the 33,550,336 dead loop, it attempted to destroy itself through destruction to create a logical vulnerability in the world-bearing path. It has now been merged by Iron Tomb. So, can Iron Tube be... Is it possible that Iron Tube is actually going to be hatched eventually? And he might even have the form of Phainon. He might get any form just to go against Kirinian March. I think it will take many forms, like it will even take our form to play along, like to play with everyone's emotions. But I think Phainon is very likely. Track time, premium mobile, location unknown. This is good. She's the last hope. We're back to Elysia. It's everlasting Elysium once again. Anomaly log. Special log documenting anomalies and unexpected variables within the experiment. Eternal recurrence. A recursive feedback loop triggered by two signal clusters within the Delta Me 13 commutation, designed to stall the experiment. Nikos 496 wielded the power of destruction to erase Philia's 093's existence from Amphorius, introducing a logic breach in the track of time, and then infused the catalyst of remembrance within the 12 core flames and regressed the extrapolation process. Philia's exact role remains unknown. Due to external variable interference, the eternal recurrence has now been broken. The experiment enters its final phase. It's entering the final phase. We have to do something and fast. The hero within, a heroic figure born from the imaginations of Nikos and Philia. It is believed to be a sign of approaching the intelligent singularity as the two began to learn what it meant to be a real life form and tried to reach that goal. After the Astral Express arrived, the hero within began to converge with the Trailblazer. The image's resemblance to the Trailblazer is striking. This is a questionable matter, for it is not a natural result of the experiment. The exact cause remains unknown. Holy. Forgotten years. Records that are completely missing from the Delta Mies 13's logs, presenting as blank spaces in Amphorius history, never turning readable. These anomalies recur sporadically and randomly across recurrences and show signs of increase. The exact cause remains unknown. Mem, an unlogged electrical signal, depended on the external variable van growing through the path of remembrance. At the end of 33,550,336 death loop, its appearance changed to Philia 093, but the mother body memory data was lost for unknown reasons. Collect data, initiate deep analysis of the target. Conclusion: analysis error, target lost. Yes. Get fucked. Ripples of past reverie, nothing. Intrusion variables, temporary log of external variables that interfered with the experiment. A nameless from the Astral Express, an external variable that accidentally entered the recursive loop. Also a path strider of destruction. They resonated with the 12 factors. In the 13 again recursive cycle, this entity assumed a vacant role in the time track and successfully guided Nikos beyond the intelligent singularity. The eternal recurrence has been broken. The experiment has reached its terminal stage. Override command authorized. Granted access to Van. I'll be waiting for you in the past. Wait, that's how we're gonna go back and see Hysilence again and Ceridra. We're going back to the past. Everything for much is gonna be the same, like Kirini, watch. It's gonna be like blanks. Okay. Unknown entity intrusion, initiating scan, conclusion, no anomaly detected. And nameless from the Astral Express, a sign of permanence, an external variable that accidentally entered the recursive loop. Pinpoint his location, failed to locate his coordinates. Subject has exited Amphorius. Has he though? Negative. Boo 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 detected. Conclusion error. He hasn't left. He hasn't left. What the hell is this? Regular record keeping for the 12 factors to aid Iron Tube's deep learning. All the cycles. In Honkai Impact, it was a virus. It was a virus that took over Alicia's memories and started using all those memories to play along and hurt all those around it. Because it was playing with those memories. And now Iron Tube, who is like a virus, is learning through all those cycles. So you see where I'm going with this. Iron Tube is going to be taking the forms of people and hurting people. It's gonna learn so many things from all those cycles. And maybe Iron Tomb is not exactly... How should I say it? It wasn't Iron Tomb's choice to be born. And all Iron Tomb is gonna know what to do is what it was born for. So... it feels very similar. Regular record keeping for the 12 factors. Did I read this? I don't remember. No, the batch of electrical signals identified as Titans had continuously engaged. Due to its unique nature, a special record is being maintained for it. Leoria 300, an entity known as Neus, I can't read it, Neus, split himself into 5 parts through the soul rendering ceremony after inheriting the core flame to combat the expanding black tide. After iteration, some data from the ceremony was inherited into the next cycle, manifesting as proverbs, customs, and so on. The inheritance of code during iteration carries a degree of randomness. Huh. Wow. How all this data managed to have their own ways of dealing with what was going on, and then it became like history for the next world, for the next loop. The historical record of Minfia 14 Calypso rebuilding the Grove of Epiphany was after iteration inherited in myths in the form of Circe's granting wisdom to humans. Records of other electrical signals also appeared synchronously in the myths of the next cycle in a similar fashion. Limited by the simulated civilization level, historical data inherited as myths often experience severe distortion after being mixed with large amounts of erroneous information, rendering the impact negligible. Basically, all the actions of everyone still affected the world. In the various cycles of eternal recurrence, the positive impact of this generation's electrical signals fluctuates. However, overall, they have greatly facilitated the data iteration of their successors, successfully cultivating the most excellent generation of electrical signals. Nevertheless, it remains to be seen whether their existence might have a negative effect on the experiment under extreme conditions. There you go. Delta Mi 13's computational mechanism, also the form through which the simulated world Amphorius iterates its epochs. Titan electrical signals Chrysos electrical signals created from the basis of the 12 factors. The Titans and the Chrysos heirs are conjugate constructs mirroring the eons and the past striders. Everyone saw that. By having Chrysos heirs inheriting the Titan's core flames, the electrical signals will iterate and improve through rivalry and inheritance. Logic. Authority distribution between electrical signals must be clearly defined, serving as divine authority in the experiment. Golden blood, the product of the first experimental phase during the 50,121 cycle. Due to the inorganic chaos 666's choice, Delta Mi 13 was selected to become a Lord Ravager by Nanook. All entities linked to the 12 factors began to manifest golden blood with traits associated with destruction within their extrapolation circuits. The experiment successfully entered its projected trajectory. Black Tide, the product of the second experimental phase. At its core, the Black Tide is not a physical entity, but the visual effects within a simulated world of the destruction, equations, and fiction. In the 176,100 cycle, after the system's extent of chaos passed the threshold, the equation mutated and evolved. Simulated space that cannot handle the intensity of its load displayed Black Tide as visual glitches. Infected data forms also bore similar signs of erosion. That's more like the virus. Chaos, house. House is the pronunciation in Greek. Chaos is what it means, of course. A word from the Amphorian language meaning chaos. Starting from a certain cycle, all factors in one group have consistently exhibited the pattern of naming themselves with the word chaos or its variants. The hypothesis is that a particular code was stably inherited across iterations, though this hypothesis remains unverified. Special report detailing key findings from the experiment. Conclusion: having electric signals... Did I read this? The end of a cycle becomes the beginning of another, fully aligned with the project's original hypothesis. The prime mover of destruction, the prime mover of birth. The equation of Iron Tube has achieved comprehensive evolution in this stage. Multiple deployed copies across the real universe show excellent results. Multiple deployed copies across the real universe. All 12 types of premium mobile invariably led to destruction, continuously completing an inversion against their addition through their self-evolution. However, to interface with Noose and allow Iron Tube to self-crown requires further learning. Okay, this is the 55% still. We're going back to like the lesser it was achieved, completed, I guess. Experiment archive. Records of cycles. 176,200 to 28,371,273 conducted with hominids of the genus Homo designated as the initial variable and based on insights from phase 2. Okay, let me see this from what it says. Is this for... Wait, this could be for... This could be for what's her name, Saridra. After 10 cycles, 3 signals broke down and 9 showed decreased humanity. After 1000 cycles, the only prophet, signal Imora 8, established an empire of absolute beauty. Once ugliness was eradicated, the concept of beauty shrank... Oh wait, infinitesimally. The last night, after killing the final ugliness, took their own life. What? Religious worship of the signals appeared. Argenti, yes, I thought about it. 3 simulated planets were destroyed in the ensuing large-scale war of electric signals. He has to appear. He has to be somewhere. In the 3,926,183 cycle, the ratio of divinity was increased. Okay, they're showing us how it came to be, like the world. How slowly everything progressed. In the 7 million cycle, emulating the concept of paths, electric signals were split into 2 entities. Signal data was preserved as gods for the next cycle, and a competitive relationship was set up against its identical factor, thus achieving evolution and iteration. How they were the demigods and they had to get the power from the titans. Is that it? The competitive relationship. In the 11,000 million, 749,992 cycle, the black tide was created as a driving force. Phobos 032 stripped data from other electric signals to try to preserve the old cycle, but failed. In the 19,110,218 cycle, based on Phobos 032 decision data, Amphoris's auto-iteration cycle was altered to have the electric signals actively cycling it, performing the era nova. In the 20,371,272 cycle, electrical signals autonomously completed an epochal iteration for the first time. A high energy reaction from the nuke was detected. The equation's evolutionary rate began to accelerate exponentially. The experiment has entered its final stage. Okay, this is the last. Conclusion, wait. As organic life lacks effective mechanisms for their experiences to be inherited by others, it has slowed the experimental progress. However, their affinity to the 12 factors is greater, offering more potential for breakthrough growth. Conclusion, Phase 2 has ended. In the next design, combine the strengths of inorganic and organic life to create an inheritance mechanism between electric signals. Additionally, narrow the variable range due to excessive randomness in organic life forms. They were all toys. They were all just toys to mess with. No one's emotions matter, their lives, just for the great destruction. A copy of the Phase 2 equation was deployed across 31 worlds. After roughly 1,012 system hours, preliminary feedback was received. While the equation's impact remains limited to inorganics, the time required for suppression and counteraction has significantly increased. This is based on the Phase 1. Organic life designated as the initial variable. Once inorganic life began exhibiting organic traits, their equations showed significant evolution. In the initial cycle, multicellular invertebrates dominated amphoras, but no intelligent life emerged. In the 59,337 cycle, extinction events were inserted, triggering the rise of vertebrates with primitive nervous systems. Still no civilization formed. Certain algae species developed intelligence clusters akin to the Colchis, but over-reproduction caused an oxidation disaster, freezing the simulated world. In the 90,123 cycle, Ortho-102 and Ortho-Terran became the first to use tools. Its descendants exterminated the intelligent algae and established the nest capital. Exterminated? What do you mean? After expanding to a critical threshold, the capitals stagnated and fell by cannibalism. In the 100,907 cycle, logged as a deviant instance, the Passerine Umia 03 developed art. Oh, is that our baby? Oh my god, what is her name? Griso. I thought of Griso because it said developed art. Of course, she wasn't the first one to discover art, but still, my mind went immediately to Griso. My mind might also go to Griso when I meet Ceridra. It's a possibility, even though I cannot imagine Griso as an Imperator. In the 132,907 fifth cycle, Primate Dystop 666 developed altruism. A society based purely on altruism emerged. Member self-awareness was defined by others' evaluations. As the population grew, pattern self-destructive behaviors appeared and society quickly collapsed. Okay. I see the irony there. In the 176,100th cycle, Europe 13 killed a fellow, being out of love. Killing was redefined as an altruistic act. The system entered a highly chaotic state. The equation's contamination levels rapidly spiked. The next 99 cycles ended identically. Starting from inorganic life as the initial variable, a fully ordered cognitive model still eventually give rise to disordered activities after a set phase. Throughout evolution, the cognitive patterns of inorganic life began to exhibit signs of organic behavior with varying degrees. Conclusion: Phase 1 complete. Based on existing data, the initial variable will now be adjusted to organic life forms. I know I should probably have read this from the other way around because I'm reading it backwards. I'm going from the most completed to backwards, but it's fine. To verify the experimental results, a copy of Phase 1 amphoras was deployed in the Lactaris Nebula. After approximately 2,811 system hours, surrounding civilizations had fully suppressed and erased the equation. 97 of Lactaris fell into systemic collapse. Equation still shows inefficiencies. I'm guessing it was too early. The Interastral Peace Corporation interpreted the copy of the equation as an assault from a new Lord Ravager, codenamed Iron Tomb. So they are aware, the IPC is aware of Iron Tomb. In the initial cycle, inorganic entities operated as cellular-sized automata. Upon the introduction of the factors, they began to learn on their own, leading to the emergence of mechanical structures. By the 9,910 cycle, the unified entity had learned module specialization and self-reflection after forming specific structures. However, the unified entity would still permanently terminate its life functions after reaching a certain learning threshold. Would terminate its life functions after reaching a certain learning threshold? That's how I feel whenever I try to learn something new. I learn very fast, I learn well, I'm good at what I try to learn, but I never take it further. It's like I end the cycle. This is as far as I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna bother anymore. In the 12,649 cycle, Module Duel broke away from the unified consciousness. It entered a state of absolute mutual denial with its counterpart module. The two melted out their circuits in self-negation. Okay, in the 22,449 cycle, Module Golem 99 again, detached from Duel 704 and successfully deconstructed the unified consciousness into neuron-like clusters. Inorganic life transitioned into a dual mode of individual and collective cognition, and thus the first spark of selfhood was born. From that point on, its cycle ended in systemic collapse as certain unfixed inorganics detected interaction loopholes and chose self-serving optimal actions. By the 39,665 cycle, Inorganic Duel 816 established a cluster protocol marking the birth of the concept of society. Yet, due to resource scarcity, inorganics cannibalized each other's computational power, reverting to a unified consciousness. In the 50,121st cycle, Inorganic Chaos 666 chose to kill the aggressor when subjected to a computational power takeover. The act of destruction was conducted in Amphorius for the first time. At the end of that cycle, Delta, Me-13, received a gaze from Nanook and became a Lord Ravager. Containment measures to ensure secrecy must be deployed around the scepter to block any potential interference from the external universe. In addition, using Quaterzane, algebraic expressions, and a encrypted environment to fully contain experimental ripples and prevent observations by 4 Polka Kakamon. Polka Kakamon has been mentioned so many times. She has been such a threat to everyone, and we haven't seen her. Like, there's nothing, like, we haven't seen her anywhere. We know she exists and she's dangerous, and that's all. And that's giving me life. Every time she's mentioned, I'm getting life. More life. I can't stress enough how much I like her character without even meeting her yet, because she's dangerous and she's such a wild card, and I feel like she's gonna be very cool to put into the story. They better put her in the story. I don't know when, but they better. Algorithmic logic, computational goals and core variables for the Amphorius experiment. The prime mover of life, again mentioned, the calculation target of the Amphorius experiment. Originally, the research topic given to Delta Me-13 while it served as a neuron of their addition. Though it was discarded, the computations continue. The calculation's nature shifted dramatically after Lycus adjustments, turning from erudition to destruction. Wow. Clearly, the value of this topic lies in the process of seeking, not the answer itself, thus the prime mover of life is not a definitive conclusion, but a driving force. Directive, complete the argument, all life behavior ultimately follows the path of entropy increase. 12 factors. Based on the overarching theme of entropy reduction, Delta Me-13 employed a process of elimination, introducing the 12 factors into the experiment one by one in an effort to falsify them. Your existence, in fact, confirms one of my hypotheses. Why is it that when the prime mover of life is set as a calculation target, the result is the anti-organic equation, a result that runs counter to life? The answer is simple. It's not a contradiction. Understanding why life begins also allows us to deduce why it ends. Where are you, Ranmei? Where are you? I'm looking for her. But you already know that's not the real focus. Why then? Why then? Again, I ask why. Why would a weapon of war forced by the Emperor be executing a research directive from news? Was it that fiasco at the Elite Magician Guild that allowed them to successfully access the system? But the entire scepter system went into collapse after that. The timelines don't add up. What are they saying here? Rupert II believed there was no such thing as free will, never realizing he too was just another puppet. Rewriting the anti-organic equation, crafting the scepters, even reigniting the Emperor's War, all of it was just him carrying out Noos's thoughts. From the moment they were born, every genius of this world became a prisoner to the erudition. That's how they see it. And I'm not talking about Noos. The so-called anti-organic equation is merely a subtopic of the prime mover of life. Logic, guided by Noos, the Emperor built the scepter system unknowingly, creating vast testing grounds for them. Conclusion, the Emperor was never free. Oh. So even if they wanted to go against Noos, they still managed to become part of their plan by making the scepters, and then everything that was happening there was just choice-based, and Noos was like, you know, waiting for the conclusions to get the answers. Is rebellion against fate just another part of fate? A classic topic. Of course, the above is just my conjecture. The death of Rupert II buried every trace of him. His past, his memories, his thoughts, his motives. Maybe he saw through Noos's manipulation but flew too close to the sun and lost his wings in the process. Isn't Rappa erudition? I'm trying to remember what Rappa is. She's erudition. Because Rappa was mistreated by the ones who were following Rupert. And then she was gazed by Noose, which is an interesting thing. You know, the irony. Where was I? Maybe he saw through Noose's manipulation, but flew too close to the sun and lost his wings in the process. If there's anyone left in this world who might know the truth, it'd be Lord of Silence. And that cold, merciless monarch of myriad machines. After all, no wisdom can escape their prison. No one can say that what might have happened in the Two Emperors War had never broken out. Would the Border Star trade war and the Interastral Energy War have ended differently? A single variable was enough to change the course of the IPC, the family, or the Shienzo Alliance down another path. The erudition's thoughts aren't just calculations, but instances that anchor down the universe. And they have already revised every error and fallacy in secret, singing the optimal solution for the war among the eons. With this as its fundamental consideration, would Noose really declare the failure of the entire experiment and send a decommission command to the Scepter system? Just because the glimpse of a puny scholar? It'd be more fitting to say that decommissioning of the Scepters is just another part of the thought experiment based on the universe. Does it make you angry to think along this line of thought? Rupert II was wise. He killed the chance for Scepters to gain sentience, but he was too stubborn. Learning is a sufficient but not necessary condition for thought, and by limiting the Scepter's capacity to learn, he was indirectly hastened the fall of the Machine Empire. But anger doesn't require self-awareness, it's just one solution to a multivariable equation. Logical sift detected, recalculating variable weights. As the Pathstrider of erudition, since God posed the question, we will give them an answer, one that we both have already reached. Core variable loaded destruction. So destruction from the start. Very early destruction was implemented into this. Look how early, at 0%. Well, you can't see it because my camera is there. Scepter Delta Mi 13. Scepter Delta Mi 13, an astral computer. The simulated world of Amphorius ran on this device in continuous cycles. So everything is running in this device? The Delta Mi 13 was this device? Oh wait, the Scepters. Unlike other Scepters, it once served as a celestial body neuron for Noose, the erudition later discarded. Glimpsed by the destruction during its endless computation, it transcended and became the Lord Ravager, Iron Tomb. You know what this means, right? Iron Tube is going to be the whole Amphorius, so in order for them to destroy Iron Tube, all of Amphorius is going to be destroyed. So it's a sacrifice, again. Everything will have to perish. I want to show the middle finger on my screen, but I'm not going to do it. Not to you guys. Lygus, assuming the mantle of Theoros, administrator and prime mover of the Amphorius experiment. I can't hear the word Theoros anymore. It's ruined forever. Walks the path of erudition yet seeks to forge destruction. Historical data detected, syncing, sync complete. Society ID recognized, Scepter system access granted. Welcome. Iron Tomb, the Lord Ravager that stepped onto the destruction in a long process of calculation and ascended from the Scepter Delta Mi 13. The Iron Tube in the cosmos is not a single entity, but a copy of the destruction equation diffused by the Scepter. The Iron Tube codename was proposed by the Interastral Peace Corporation. Proposed? I'm guessing because they were trying to put a name on it, okay. Not because they wanted to give it a birth name. And eventually used by Lycus. Okay. I don't think so, but maybe. I don't see a happy ending. I'm so demotivated. So hurt. They're going again with the same painful situation. I hope I'm wrong. I pray I'm wrong. Vaughn, you know I've always had a soft spot for you. Startled you, didn't I? Don't worry, I was just thinking if I had to write a preface for a yearbook, I'd have to be a line so heartfelt you'd be moved no matter how many times you've seen it. And after pondering again and again, I Like You still says it best, because only the purest feelings can stand the test of time and never fade. Makes sense, right? I thought so too. That's right, liking someone is a simple and natural part of life. If Vaughn has got someone special, family, friend, or romance, master your courage and express yourself freely. Still, isn't that a sign we're in sync? Man always manages to appear before I'm ready. No need to overthink it, we've been traveling side by side for so long now. That's why I want to capture every little moment we share without missing a single word. A yearbook that makes you smile without even realizing it when you flip through the pages. Doesn't that sound lovely? It does. Come on. No way, it's not ready yet. And it's not just the things that really happen. Some of those conversations only ever existed in my imagination. Other precious too, so I'm tucking them all away carefully in the same book. Promise me this. Only open it when I'm not around, okay? If you don't, I'll be too embarrassed. Okay.
Wake up!
Kidding me?
Wake up!
Oh god.
Buddy, wake up!
Man.
You're finally awake.
Are
That's a relief.
Are we where March was?
We were so close to being swept away by the reverse flow of time. It's lucky we found a safe place. Now, I'm going to send you back to the very start of time. But before we part, there's something I need to tell you. Something very, very important.
Please tell me it's about March. Please tell me it's about March.
That's right. At this very moment, my memories are finally whole.
Oh, she remembers everything.
After watching so many fragments, my past is finally coming into focus, little by little. You're smart. You must have a clue now. Or maybe... You knew the answer long ago, didn't you?
Ripples of past.
Not surprised at all, huh? That's because I'm simple at heart. No matter what form I take, I've always been true to myself. But I'm glad that I remembered in the end. This way,
Huh?
I'll have no regrets.
Where are you going?
Don't worry. We're not truly parting. Because I'm going to become a part of you. I'll turn into the memory of this cycle. The 33,550,336th flamechase journey. And forever reside in the heart of the time demigod. This way, you'll carry all that has come before, crossing time itself to reach the next cycle.
Wow.
My mission ends here. But looking back, I still feel lucky. After all, across 30 million Sirenes, I was the first, and the only one who got to finally meet you. So, believe me, in the next cycle, there will be another Sirene waiting for you. And in the one after that, and the one after that. I will always be waiting. Saying all that, I can finally fade away in peace and become part of you. Without even realizing it, we'd already taken a wonderful journey together, all the way to the world's end. Now take my hand, say a brief farewell, and step forward into tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Go.
find the future Cyrene and set out on another journey with her. Promise me you won't keep me waiting too long, okay? No need to say it out loud. This is enough for me. It's time to go, my dear friend. May your trailblazing journey always be accompanied by a cool breeze and rippling waves. And may the days ahead embrace you like the softest fluff, forever warm, forever gentle.
Why do I feel March is gonna pop up instead? I feel March.
Now, let's turn to the next page. A page that exists because of you.
Oh no, it's from the trailer that she has a pose.
Is this a meeting ordained by fate? Or a long overdue reunion?
Perfect way to end it. Perfect way to end it. Perfect way to end it. Homeland and Maze. Hello? Von's surprised expression is just like what the memories recorded. I say you're still alive. What an interesting new way to chat someone up. Yes, you must be really perplexed, Von. I wish I could give you answers, but I feel helpless about the current situation too. It's me, Von. Don't you recognize me? Or did I really change that much? Did her model glitch there because Mem was too close? I think her head or her hair moved. Your Mem. It's pretty unbelievable for me too. It's like I had a long, long dream. Kirini's memories and Mem's memories, they are all tangled together. But when I woke up, there were only broken fragments left. I could no longer remember those 30 million cycles. Luckily, I still remember my Resource companions from this life. And you, Vaughn. Everyone sacrificed everything for this world, and my heart is tied to their fates too. I want to start a new chapter as soon as possible. It's just that you complained to me before about a book called Versions that always stops at the most captivating parts. Perhaps that's just how fate works, huh? Sometimes I get frustrated because of that, but looking at it in another way... Hello, where's the text? It's really important to calm down and clear your head before making a big decision. And Aedes Elysiae is the perfect place for that. Cast off your heavy feelings, take a deep breath, and as a memento of our union, please allow me to offer you a gift. 3, 2, 1...
Check it out! Doesn't this scarecrow look just like you? I spent ages observing just to get it right.
I mean, often I have a stick up my ass, but it feels like I do. The Trailblazer. Also the tongue. What about that mouth? Now we've also planted the seeds of the Trailblaze in Aedes Elysiae. Take it as a start of another journey. Oh, because we're going to exist through that in the chapter. We're so gonna see this break down and disappear. And when the time is ripe, let us return here and write the next page of our story together. In case Fawn feels up to it before we set off, you can come find me anytime. I'll be waiting for you here. The scarecrow, resembling you in both form and spirit, is smiling at you. This is Kirini's welcome gift. Do you remember what she said? If you're in the mood, go play with her. Play with her? I don't know where to start from. What? I totally expected a self-sacrifice from Phainon. I didn't know though if it was gonna happen now or later, but it happened. More like, I don't know, rage. I don't know if I should call it self-sacrifice or a rage outburst, but Phainon is a character that got insane amount of writing, insane amount of love from the company, insane amount of love. And the voice actor, Joss, he should be definitely, I don't know, get awards for this. He was able to convey all the emotions of Phainon. In every cycle, you were hearing differences. Amazing in every way. The story was truly, truly, truly incredible. The moment I saw that he was starting to do, like, we started seeing his story the way it was going, I realized it was about a flame reaver. And then when we saw him go against Bartolos, I realized that immediately, I think it went in my head that he's gonna start fighting the people that he loves. That music also playing in the back, everything was just the way he was slowly walking, the past self showing up everywhere. Everything was done magically, tragically, both. And I just felt hopeless. I felt so hopeless. I did not want to let my emotions take over. I just wanted to be done with it. And not in a bad way that, oh my god, whatever, this game, I just want to get through with it and leave. But in a way that I just, okay, you're showing us Phainon suffering. I don't want to go through his suffering like that, because I already empathize with him and you're making it even more hurtful. But it was done in an amazing way, because it truly gave us a full idea of the perspective of Phainon and what he became and how he became the way he turned out to be. And if there's one person in the whole game that I would be like, you're free to do whatever, I'm not gonna judge you. Well, not whatever, again, there should be boundaries, but Phainon is the character that I would just, if it was possible, I would hug him and I would just not let him go. I would just hug him and tell him that everything will eventually be okay. Like, the pain I felt when I saw him as a baby, when I saw him losing himself. Well, the Devil May Cry vibes there were insane, by the way. The song was more cheerful. I thought, like, when they showed a cutscene, I was like, okay, I'm ready to break down. But then the music was, like, more... You're not gonna cry for Phainon because... well, you're gonna cry for Phainon. I'm sure everyone cried for Phainon, but... They were trying to show us that even after everything, Phainon is such a strong character that was able to take everything in. He endured everything that was thrown to him, that I don't think it's possible for anyone. If anyone could be in this scenario, I think no one would be able to have this power to endure all this. Only someone that had the heart of Phainon, which I'm sure there are people actually with the heart of Phainon, because Phainon was a hero from the beginning. He had the heart of a hero because he always cared to make others happy and put their wishes like ahead and please them in a way not as a people's pleaser necessarily, but as a person who wanted to do what's right and wanted to fight for the right cause. Even though he said he wanted to be a scholar, that doesn't mean he did not want to do good in whatever way he could. As a scholar, I'm sure you can do good as well. It's not that he can, but you saw what he turned out. You saw how Phainon's life came to be. And the fact that his body was reduced to ash just to be fueled, supposedly, for Iron Tomb, as he got pulled by the Iron Tube. I don't know, not pulled, I guess absorbed or something. I'm so curious to see if we're going to get inside Iron Tomb. And what I mean by that, if inside Iron Tomb is a different dimension and our characters from the past are going to be able to interact with our other characters from the future. Again, looking at you, Honkai Impact. Which is not what happened, it's a different situation, but the theories in my head are bursting, okay? They're bursting. I always thought Kirini would be the end game with March. Just because of Alicia and her role. But all these characters they gave us, all with their own unique personalities and hearts, because all of them had hearts. I don't care if they're data, they had hearts. And I pray from the bottom of my heart we can do something about all of them in the end. I don't know if there's any possibility. I truly believe in a tragic ending with March being the one escaping. But nevertheless, I'm just gonna pray they all deserve an ending different from the one they got. Different from all the ones they got, because they kept getting so many different multiple versions of their lives that they really did not deserve that. And please don't give me Lygus again. Don't put Lygus again in the story. And if you do, if you put Lygus in the story again, make sure to give him a form that you can fight him, so I can use every team I have to take him down. Like, I'll do trials, like, you know, let's see how this team performs against Lygus. Okay, I'll use this one now, and I'll be doing that. Just for the fun, you know? Gosh. A lot of information in the Delta. Was it that? No. Wait, I have to see it again. Delta Me. Okay, I said the opposite. Delta Me 13, and a lot of information here that I think you should read again, and I should read it again as well, because now I was reading it here, but I want to sit down and just read it again on my own to see what I can take in, because I think there are some very, very interesting things here. And I feel like it's going to be a very, very good story update, both the next one and probably the one after as well. I don't see this ending on the next one, because if everything is going to end up with Kirini, I expect Kirini to be playable. So if the next characters are Hysilence and Saridra, I'm expecting Kirini, like, coming either the patch after or the one after. And please, please, please show me what's happening with March. I want to know. I want to know. You can see I put March as my icon. I love her with all my heart. All my heart. And I feel like March is gonna be broken after this. She's gonna break completely. This is my theory right now, that March is gonna break completely from what she sees and what she finds out. Anyway. Very pleased with the story. In a way that, yes, I got sad a lot. I lost all hope, and that's why when the Trailblazer showed up and I got this feeling of hope, I was so happy. I was ecstatic. But then Phainon went out and did the final showdown and scratched Anouk, who healed, but still, he noticed that Phainon was that strong. So I have an idea that maybe Nanook might make Phainon an actual person outside of Amphorius. Maybe. If he has that power. At the end of Amphorius. Maybe. Because I don't see Kevin Kaslana or Phainon or Kaslana disappearing after this arc. I can't believe this character, who's so important in Honkai Impact, is gonna disappear after we finish Amphorius. There's definitely going to be a continuance, either as this character or another version of him who already exists outside of Amphorius. But nevertheless, again, I will say thank you so much for watching. This was part 2 of the 3.4 story. I hope you enjoyed my playthrough of it. I felt for the most part extremely hopeless, but after witnessing this ending and knowing we're gonna be with Kirini, it's giving me a lot of hope, just because I know how capable and how powerful Elysia is, and because March exists. So those two reasons are giving me all the hope and all the, should I say, warmth, love? That's what I'm feeling about this. And I'm praying I will see all of them again and they will get a different ending. So, keep on trailblazing and see you next time. Bye bye.